Hey guys, and welcome to FanCast. We're very grateful to be recording from the historic St Kilda Sports Club, the oldest locker room in the Southern Hemisphere. Join us on the bench where we talk all things footy. We're fans, and this is FanCast. G'day FanCasters, and welcome to another episode here on the pod where we have a proper footy chat. It's your boy Jay here. We are joined with some familiar faces. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this wonderful woman over here. Anna on the other side of the bench. How you doing?
Hello. I'm all right. Can I make a confession that's not football related?
Sure.
I spent my day listening to the new Eminem album.
Ah, yes.
And I think I listened to it 3 times today, and it blew my mind so bad. I felt like I had to clean up pieces of my brain before I came down here.
The death of Slim Shady.
I'm like an empty shell of a human right now, but I'll do my best to contribute.
If you could take whatever rhymes that you've picked up from listening to it, it's hanging around your subconscious, and you drop some bars for us here on this on the bench, that would be unreal.
It's just a good album.
It's a great album for sure. Guy,
anyway. Hello.
Saintered Love, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Thanks for having me back.
We had a great time last time.
Yeah, we did. We talked about lots of stuff.
We did.
There was a bit of footy thrown in there too.
Just a little bit.
Keen to get into it.
Yeah. We've got, of course, Ben. How we doing, Ben?
Good, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be here.
I'm keen to have another Bombers supporter on here. I'm always being ambushed by these Saints fans or Pies fans, or, it's about time we got someone who's, got an actual decent background.
Half a brain, yeah.
Half a brain?
Yeah.
No, we have full brains, Ben. They're the ones with half a brain. But it's all right. It's okay. We'll work on it moving forward. There was a lot of football to be had on the weekend. Unfortunately, none of it was positive for our teams. We both lost. You guys lost to the Crows. We lost to Melbourne with no Petrarca and no Gorn and no Ruckman. And
I predicted that would be an issue.
You didn't you?
Yeah.
You're
just
smart.
So typical.
Yeah.
So typical.
Typical Essendon.
No, it's typical footy.
We love Essendon.
It's typical footy that the team that really needed to win really bad and had none of the reserves just did it. I don't know. It's just the story of football. I don't know. It happens all the time.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? When you just break it down like that. Who wants it more?
Mm-hmm.
It just comes down to who wants it more.
Or who can hold their nerve
and
when there's some expectation put on them.
100%.
And that Melbourne team was pretty young as well. Like, that's not the Melbourne of the last few years with stars on every line. That was, Moniz Wakefield.
Judd McBee.
Spud McBee going at it.
They must have been excited to play too, you've been waiting for your shot, which you think is never going to come. Yeah. And then everyone's injured, so you get to get in there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Must have been exciting.
It's just their conditions. I feel like the D's are just so good in the wet. And Essendon aren't.
We are like the complete antithesis to what Melbourne are in the wet. Yeah. They're the fish. And
did you go to the game?
No, I did not go to the game. I saw the weather was bad, and I thought, you know what, I might not go to the game.
The players thought the same.
The Bombers, exactly, because I was afraid the players might think as well. Oh no, the weather's bad.
I was there, and as soon as it started raining, I thought, shit, we're in trouble. And Jack Viney, you just know he's going to smash us.
Even Clayton Oliver looked good for the first time this year. Classic against the Bombers. Clayton Oliver will look good. You guys also had not a full strength Adelaide team against the Saints. I mean, obviously fresh off the Isaac Rankin suspension as well.
I could smell blood going into that.
You could?
For us, yeah. I put my hopes up way too high. But the Saints boys the Saints boys just love Dome too much.
You know what? I think we had already written the season off, and because it was raining, we didn't care. I actually think that's what happened at some point.
No, but when I saw Ross select Zach Jones, the only reason he picked Zach Jones over Hugo Garcia is to win now, to win tonight.
No, I didn't see Ross didn't care.
Ross was tanking.
The players, I think, were like...
Was Ross behind the email? Is that what you're saying?
The Zach Jones.
I don't think he's behind the email, but I don't think that was his attitude. But I think the players in the back of their heads were like, we're stuffed anyway, who cares? I mean,
Ross was hating it though. He broke
was
2
hating it.
phones.
Yeah,
One
good for
phone?
him.
One
Then
he
he
tried
had-
to fix. In his,
One he
in his
tried to
defense,
fix, and then he had double phones at one stage.
I would love
So he was
for
doing
them to,
everything.
Like, 'cause they should really put a rubber phone in there just for Ross,
Yeah.
just to see what happens.
Or a phone made out of cake.
Yeah,
He grabs and he just.
exactly.
He's like, I've been talking to this for 3 quarters.
Have fun
It's
with
cake.
that. Someone
is
should
so
really
good.
mess with him with
I
the
would
phone.
love to have a
A
cake phone.
Yeah.
A cake phone.
A cake
Or you
phone.
could eat it when you get mad.
Yeah, exactly. You just start, the angry munchies. But the funny thing, Ben, when you said was it Ross that was the one who sent the email out to him, Victor Jones, because he said, "I know that the coach doesn't rate you either." It's imagining
I know because I am the
I know I am the coach. I don't rate you, Jones.
How shitty was that though? Like, I don't know why.
So much effort to find
Just-
someone's email.
Correct.
Yeah, like, don't you have any friends to whine to? Why are you
yeah.
whining to Zach?
But also, Zach Jones has shared that on Instagram. So he's obviously checking his Instagram anyway. So the bloke's just wasted his own time finding the email.
Yeah.
Just go straight to the Instagram next time, I reckon. For
I feel
Ross.
like
Or
that.
maybe Ross doesn't have Instagram.
Yeah, but the fact that this person, whoever perpetrator was, that reached out to Zach Jones by email, sort of like
What is wrong with
doxed himself in terms of, we know this ain't some Gen Z person who's reaching
Yeah.
out to people by emails. You know what I mean? This
That's
has got to
true,
be, it's got to be someone who's at least 40 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on.
probably someone Ross's age that missed the boat on coaching a football game. So now he's mad and home, or
Taking
she,
it out.
taking it out on Zach.
And if you are
Get
that
some-
old,
Friends.
yeah, and if you are that old, act your age, mate. You don't start going out emailing people and hurling abuse at them because you didn't win a football game on the weekend. It wasn't even you playing, mate. So just calm it down. I reckon it's fine. You can boo on the ground, but reaching out to someone's direct email and blasting them for being a waste of space and being shit and blah, blah, blah is
Not
just
Chris
too,
Judd.
it's too much.
Yeah.
No, not Chris Judd.
It's just such
No,
a
not on.
bizarre way to deal with your anger.
Judd
Just
makes me look like
it's
Chris
so
Judd.
not. It's like it's not the slightest bit threatening because it's an email. It's probably the least threatening
Yeah.
thing you could possibly do is send an actual email to somebody.
Yes.
It's like, we're not at work. Well, I don't know what you're doing,
Correct.
right? But you still do it, and you're nasty about it. It's like no one's intimidated by you. You
No.
just look stupid.
And good on Jonesy for putting
Sharing
it
it
out,
with
sharing
everyone.
it around. It's like,
yeah,
well
talking
done.
point.
You are the tool of the week. Congratulations. You win
Exactly.
tosser of the internet for this week. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And he won't have to deal with that stuff for much longer, which is good for Zach because he'll be delisted.
It was you.
No, that's a pot shot. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Mate, they always say the perpetrator always returns to the scene of the crime.
Yep.
You've sort of, I don't know why, don't know what the scene is here in terms of, because there was an
It's the
email being
internet.
sent out.
The scene
but
being an inbox, yeah.
the scene, it was left on scene perhaps because it wasn't responded to.
Mhm.
Okay, now I'm reading
Anyway.
way too much into this.
Let's move on.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's absolutely move on. So the Crows did a good job. They got the win. Zach Jones aside, they needed to win. They needed to bounce back. It was a home game, and they got Riley Thilthorpe back. And gee, he was up and about.
Cares.
Oh,
So
he definitely- I love it. Who
So
cares?
disinterested in Adelaide.
What did you call them? You said, I remember. I think I watched the interview.
A stupid bird.
A stupid bird.
We lost to a stupid bird.
Crows are meant to be very smart, aren't they?
I don't
They are
care how
smart.
smart they are. They're stupid. They're stupid.
A stupid
The
bird.
crom.
They're probably some of the least intimidating birds on the spectrum. Like swans, I get it. Swans are jerks, and I wouldn't want to fight with one. But a crow, come on, it's just annoying. It's just an annoying bird.
Riley Thilthorpe loves the Saints as well, though.
Oh,
In
good
Cairns
for
and during
him.
COVID,
Oh.
he kicked a bicycle
That's
kick
right.
winner. And the score was like, this is the
right.
final score was like 30-25.
That was up in
Mm.
Kazali or
yeah,
something.
yeah. So he's got a track record of doing that to us.
That's not
Yeah.
even
In
a
the wet.
football ground, I swear.
No, it's
There's no way that's legal.
We
It's a
love
pigsty.
making a star out of an average footballer that we just we have a very special talent for that. At the
We're
same-
the same
Yeah.
at the Bombers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Freaking
much
Matt
the same.
Tappener every time.
Don't get me
Just
started.
somehow
the
kicks 7
tadpole.
goals.
the tabby cat.
Like honestly, like every single mediocre footballer, no disrespect, but you just
No, yeah.
But still,
No need
just-
to shot Matt Taberner.
Yeah, Matt Taberner, you're a great player. You're better than I'll ever be. But, why do you only kick 7 goals against Essendon and no one else
One
ever?
that always sticks out is Mark Lacroix.
Oh, Lacroix.
Like, good footballer.
He's got a son coming through as well. Did you see that?
No.
Who's like
Oh.
quite good. So it could be happening again.
Excellent.
Generational trauma, yeah.
Hopefully by that stage of the game, the AFL would have successfully changed the father-son rules and made it a little bit more difficult.
We got to wait for Jacob Lloyd to come through, though.
Oh,
They'll wait
How
until
old
St.
Jacob
And Kobe Buick.
Yeah.
We need Buick Jr. to come in and save us.
And then they can stop it.
I think
Yeah.
they'll wait until St Kilda could finally benefit from it,
Have you heard
and
of?
then they'll cut it.
Have you heard the name Elwood Peckett?
Yeah.
He's probably going to be average, but yeah, he's up and around there.
Remind me,
I just like saying the name.
Peckett. Who's-
Justin Peckett.
who's Justin Pickett?
Not
Played like
familiar.
200 games for the Saints.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
From retired in like 2006. Yeah, and he's got like 6 kids, and one of them's named Elwood.
Mhm.
Elwood.
Yeah. And the other one's called Jet Peckett.
Jet. Oh, that's pretty
That's a cool name.
Jet
That's pretty
Pickett.
I would have
That's-
loved it if maybe one of the kids was named Wood. I don't know.
Were they all
Woodpecker.
named
Woodpecker,
like at the
that's
pub?
what
That-
Wood Peckett.
I'm sorry if that was a silly joke. Forgive me, but I just couldn't help myself. Mate, we've got a baby little Parish coming through.
Yeah, I saw that,
Tommy
Tommy.
Parish.
Yeah.
Come on, boys. We've got to get you, hopefully, as good as your father without those calves and hammies. Just have your mum's calves.
I think that's only like the 3rd dad at the club or something.
There you go.
Why do St Kilda players always have girls? I just don't understand.
I don't know.
Look, girls have their place in society too.
I know, but we're talking about the father-son rule.
I don't know if that was up for debate, but yeah.
She's complaining about the girls.
I'm just
Yeah, but they can't play AFL
They
men's,
can't
can
play
they?
father-son rule.
Well, what about the
They can play.
father-daughter?
Father-daughter. Well, yeah,
The
we had
father-daughter
one.
rule.
Nathan
Is it
Burke's daughter.
father-daughter rule? Would it be mother-daughter rule? Like, I don't even know.
No, there's
Well, at the moment, it's father-daughter.
Yeah.
It's not possible to have a mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Nathan Burke's daughter plays for the Saints in the AFLW.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the
Chris
Saints,
Grant.
Chris Grant does, yeah. But I assume the Saints dads tell their sons, this sport will break your heart. Stop now and
Especially
keep
if
some
you
play
peace
for
while you
Kilda.
can. Yeah, exactly.
because you cursed.
Mm.
You had a great. I didn't believe in curses last week. I was trying to tell you, you're not cursed.
Nah.
I'm not stubborn in my ways to hold on to a fact, which has clearly been disproven because now you're going to be without your shining light, Mateus Philippou, for the next 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
That's
Just
so
as soon as he
cruel.
comes good.
That's
Yep.
so cruel. Yeah, he's the only thing that was like keeping me from hurting
Everyone
myself. But yeah,
at the end of that game was like, the highlight of that game was Mateus Philippou.
that goal
How
was
great is he? He's getting back into form. Can't wait to see more of him. Well, we won't see more of him.
He had such a
for
nice
another
redemption
3
arc as well. 6 weeks, like went from looking like scared to go near the footy, 6 weeks in the VFL, and then came back and was almost best on ground against the ladder leaders in Sydney, and then he followed it up this week as well, and then
Yeah.
cut down.
Oh,
Moral of the
It's-
story. Moral of the story. Don't hope. Don't believe.
Yeah.
Don't play your best because if you do,
Give
it
up.
only goes one way after. Nah.
Give up on your dreams.
Nah, don't give up
They
on
will.
your dreams. We're just being facetious, guys. Believe. All right.
we'll get there.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
His hip will grow back.
He hasn't lost a portion of his hip, for goodness sake. He'll be fine.
Yeah. getting a replacement.
Stevenson broke his hip and he's still playing. Still questionable at his game. So I don't know.
Whatever.
Maybe
Look, it's all really tight. It's all really close. He'll be fine. He will come back. He's young. He's got his whole career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Same thing with King. Got his whole life ahead of him. You guys will be fine. Just
Ugh.
Poor Max King.
yeah, you just gotta practice some more games away from the dome. Like us, we just need to turn on the frickin' sprinklers at training, for goodness sake. Like
Yeah.
when you see rain, don't be afraid of it. It's water. I know there might be some PTSD, but train there. Don't train under the tin shed at the hangar. Just go out there. Don't be grounded, like the planes are. Don't be grounded. Just go out there. Embrace the wet. I'm really hoping that we're going to see some changes to our list in terms of who's getting named. I know we're playing at Marvel this week, but it's just going to be false economy because we probably might beat the Crows,
We should.
Under the
You
roof.
definitely should.
We should.
They're pretty toothless. All things are said and done.
Okay, take
We
that,
lost
Mr.
that
Crom,
game. The
whatever.
Crows didn't win. We lost.
Genuinely, yeah.
Yeah, well,
I mean-
I supported you. I backed you in last
Yeah.
week, and I was called Essendon man, and I'll take that. I like it. The Crowject, whoever it is, some crow person on TikTok.
Project.
I love it. Yes, you have Superman, you got Batman, but now you've got Essendon, and so I'll gladly wear that. That cape will be soaring in the wind, as was Cody Weightman's. Took a wonderful grab on the weekend, and that's as much positive as I'll say about that vlog.
I had him as a talking point because I have a question about Cody Weightman.
Yes.
And I have a feeling I already know the answer from you guys. But Kingy talked a lot about him on the weekend and talked about how amazing he is and valuable to the football team. And I just feel like, isn't Cody overrated? Because I don't actually see a difference when he plays, to be quite honest. I think sometimes they win when he plays. Sometimes they lose. I don't see him as a defining factor. I really don't. And I was looking at some of his numbers, and his only above average stat, really, or his only elite stat,
He's getting free kicks.
is getting free kicks.
I knew it. I knew it.
I mean, just,
I think
you can have an Academy Award, but that doesn't make you the best player on the ground,
he's probably the best option though.
For
Otherwise-
what? A free kick?
Well, for the Dogs. Like as a small forward. Otherwise, it's like Lockie McNeil, Vandermeer.
I like Riley
I don't
West.
know.
Riley West is good.
He's
but-
improving, isn't he?
But
Yeah.
they're different. They're different sort of players, I reckon.
Cody
So you
Weightman
don't think he's overrated?
I
no.
think he's properly rated. Everyone
agree.
knows that he's a stager and he's a diver and he's
But
a cheating.
that's part. Yeah, but
That's
that's
his only
correct.
strength.
That's part of the craft of being a small forward. You've got to
Yeah.
get under the
I
opposition
know.
skin. That's part of the job description.
He's not.
And he's also one of the few players capable of kicking bags as well.
He's not a pressure forward.
No,
No.
but he's
But
a
he can-
free kick forward.
No,
He can take a grab.
He's a finisher.
he's a diver.
I would.
I
I would happily.
I
have
think
him
this
in
hates.
Bombers
I-
over,
yeah, 100%.
over what we've currently
And
got.
I would argue that your goal efficiency looks a lot better when you're taking set shot at goals because you threw yourself on the ground in an exaggerated hit that didn't really do anything to anyone.
I knew I loved
it
your
makes
opinions.
him look actually better than he is. It's a misconstrued stat. Even his goal efficiency is misconstrued because he's rarely.
He kicks
Not
like
kicking
3
a
or
session.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like he does. Yeah.
How
he's
many
not
of those
consistent.
3 are free though?
They're not free though. He's earning the free kicks.
It's like Ginnivan. He
Yeah,
earns
that's part-
he earns the
Yeah.
free kicks,
He developed that craft of lifting his elbow, and the game had to adjust to him. That's a
the
tip
game
in
has
my-
to
as
adjust.
annoying as it is to watch. It's
The game has to adjust
That's
to
a
Cody
big tick.
Weightman as well.
yeah.
Cody Weightman. I will never forget
Cody
that
Weight-
free kick where he ducked underneath Draper's armpit in that elimination final. Draper didn't know he was even there. And so all of a sudden, it's just like a blow a whistle free kick to who? To Cody Weightman. Where is he? Wait, he's
Yeah.
right here. He slipped under his armpit
I don't
and
know.
was given a free
Dark
kick.
day.
I've seen the Bulldogs play great without him. I don't think that he's an integral part of their team.
No.
And that's just me and my ignorant opinions. So please, no one get upset. But that is my opinion. I don't know.
I
I was
like
just
it.
curious
I love it.
if anyone agreed. But you guys think
I
he's
agree.
valuable for his acting.
Wholeheartedly.
I
I think he's
valuable, but I
very
don't think
valuable.
I think it's Bont or nothing
Yeah, yeah.
with the Dogs. Although Jamara,
I was gonna say
Jamara's
Jamara.
playing
Jamara did have a coming of age game on the weekend.
Yeah,
He has them briefly.
Mm.
Like every now and then. It's not like he'll have this. I'm pretty sure he's had a game where he's kicked like 5 goals or something in the game. And then it's just like, oh, Jamara's here.
Mm.
And then Jamara's gone.
but
Yeah.
that's the Bulldogs.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's just they're up and they're down.
How could you not do that with Bevo as your coach? The bloke
Well, I don't
tips
know.
his
I don't,
magnet board upside down every second week.
I don't really know what Bevo's like.
You don't know where you're going to play when you rock up. It's like under 9s. You don't know where you're going to play when you rock up.
Maybe. I don't
They played
know.
well.
Taylor Duray as a
Taylor Duray,
sweeping
Taylor,
midfielder.
Taylor.
They played really well to be able to upset the Blues.
They
But-
played. They were great. Yeah.
Kono kicked 3 goals 7.
Mm.
What happens,
I think that's the story.
Yeah, and I think Max King, don't take any notes from Charlie Curnow. Don't do that. Just be your own man.
I mean,
You definitely do because Charlie attacks the footy
2 times
so well. Yeah,
I swear it was Charlie Curnow who was trying to shoot at Donald Trump, which is why Trump survived because he just kept missing him. It was almost like a real life stormtrooper. Like, what's this 3 goals, 7 behind?
I reckon a share him to the body could kill Joe Biden. If anyone wants to try that
to
in the
the
US,
ankle.
to our US listeners.
Curnow's good, man. I mean, he's got a lot of goals for the season. He's not
He's
not
a 2-time
slacking.
Coleman medalist.
Exactly.
Like,
And he's
he's
leading it
supposed
now.
Not
to.
slacking. And most of his kicks are not free.
No, he gets a lot of free
He
kicks.
does
Actually,
get a
he
lot of
does
free
get a
kicks.
lot of free
Yeah.
kicks. I have him on my Supercoach team, and it worries me that
Did the
he's
freeze
not kicking
outweigh-
goals without the
Outweigh
freeze.
the rest of the goals.
No.
Like,
No, but he is earning free kicks because defenders are so worried
Correct.
about him.
That's
and
Yeah.
they because
And
when
he's
you
held
when you're
quite a
defending,
lot.
the better the 40s you're playing on, the
Yes.
more scared you are,
Yes,
hold
and the more
100%.
panicked you are. So he's earning them. Yeah,
So that I don't mind at all because
Right.
he's a big, dynamic, athletic player, great in the air, great on the ground, and he draws free kicks because he deserves those free kicks. But people like your Ginnovans and people like your Weightmans who deliberately go out of their way to draw the free kicks, it's the intention behind it, and it's
exploiting
Correct.
the poor adjudication of the umpires, really. Because
Correct.
if they were better about it, they would be able to.
the umpires
But
suck as it is. You don't need to help them.
Yeah.
get
Well,
worse.
it's just playing off that and trying to, I don't know, convince them of some show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's annoying.
I think you're underplaying how difficult it is to earn these free kicks
I don't think it's difficult for Cody.
because he's
I
so
think
small.
they're just on it, you know. Like
Mm.
they
He knows how to exploit it. Yeah,
he knows how to,
I
and
rate
now
that.
it's just a habit to give him the free kick, right? You're just gonna
Yeah.
assume that poor Cody's gonna get hit.
yeah, exactly. It's a bit like Joel Selwood, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, again, he's drawing the free kicks. Yes, technically, he's putting his head over the ball. Technically, this is courageous. At the same time, it's also infuriating because he's leading with his head, ducking, and picking the ball up and getting free kicks.
Yeah.
Did we rate Selwood's skill at doing this when he was playing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's like pretty much came off every game with with blood coming out,
Yep.
with blood squirting out his head
You know
Exactly.
what? If Cody bled more, I'd be okay with it.
through the blonde locks.
Like if there was more bleeding, I'd get it.
But then there's like the other end of the spectrum where it's like Ginnivan doesn't get
Well,
free
that
kicks.
it
Well,
went the other way.
well-
Umpires said we can't give you free kicks
well,
anymore
that's
for
his
this.
fault, and that's
Yeah,
his
exactly.
fault.
So he pushed it to the limit, which I
Right.
think all players are trying to do. But
Yeah.
he just took that one step too far.
Yeah,
I love it. We need to see blood on the football field.
yeah.
Bring back the old days when they didn't go off the blood rules because like they didn't know about like all the diseases.
Nobody
that
cared
it
about
carried.
AIDS back then.
And so they would play with just blood flowing everywhere.
Yeah.
It would have looked awesome.
I
Yeah.
know.
They all look like Trump now, like standing there, blood on their face.
With a goal.
Yeah, we've got to go, and just looking super dangerous.
The Adam McPhee.
Yeah, Adam McPhee. Oh, bro, Adam McPhee. That he was
The
a
nanny.
hard man.
Oh yeah.
He was a hard man, and then you would get him with the blood as well.
But
It
then
was
the
just like
blood through the blonde locks and
unreal.
it's a weird
Unreal.
look.
It made me question things at the time. But hey, we someone else who's making me question things is Jason Horne-Francis.
Yeah. Did anyone watch that game?
I did.
Yeah.
You did? Was it riveting?
Yeah, it was a pretty good
It was a
game.
pretty good
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, the Coasters were. I rate the Gold Coast this year.
At,
They're
Oh.
at home.
at home, obviously.
At home. That's
But they're fun.
yeah.
I know Roses is out for one match now, but he is just so nice to watch. He's probably got the nicest kicking action in the league.
don't
There's
know.
something about when he snaps the footy, just
Yeah.
it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, would you think based on Jason Horne-Francis' behavior
Yes.
mm.
that he is maturing, or is his side still pretty strong?
I think it's still there.
It's still
Yeah.
definitely still there, yeah. And now teams know it's still there as well, so it's
Right.
going to happen every week.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to actually be a downfall for him because if he keeps getting rattled, he's going to not play as good a football.
He's still only like 20 years old.
Yeah, but maybe Hinkley can rein him in a little bit. I mean, North tried and he left. But maybe Hinkley has some work to do there before he's let go.
His other problem is that Port have too many midfielders. He doesn't get in centre bounces that much. They've got
Jason?
But he doesn't need to. Like
he wasn't on the weekend. He barely touched
But he
it.
kicked 2 goals.
Nah, had like 8 or 10 touches.
I think he just had a down week.
I think he needs
he's
to
been pretty
grow
good
up.
the whole year. He has been good.
He does need to grow up, but
Yeah.
he's also, 3rd season?
I don't care.
Mate,
But what about-
it's
but-
professional sports?
But what about Dusty when he was younger?
Yeah, I wasn't here for that, and I don't
Okay.
particularly rate Dusty. You know,
Oh.
I don't. I've only seen Dusty in his down days. Like,
Fair
you
enough.
know.
fair enough.
Well,
So I
fair
don't.
enough.
I don't know anything about that.
yeah.
But if
he had a
he's-
lot of incidents.
yeah, I bet he did. But that's not what made him great. Yeah.
No, but he matured from that.
Okay.
But he had other senior leaders at the club that would help, I suppose, with the culture in terms of we need to keep you on the straight and narrow more. Not entirely. We're not going to make you into a saint, right? It's obviously impossible. But have you sort of conforming to a structure that is team values. And when Horne-Francis has got someone else who might have a wire loose in Zach Butters, for example, who is the second most fined player in the history of the competition, I think, almost at this point. After Toby, after King Tobias Green, Mr. Suspension himself. He is second after this guy. And he was subbed out the other game because he was going to get into another fight again. So it just feeds off each other, I feel almost.
I have a Dustin question. He didn't go directly to Richmond, did he?
He did.
Yes.
He did.
Drafted to Richmond,
Okay.
yeah.
So that, to me, is totally different than Jason Horne-Francis because he matured into his team. And Jason Horne-Francis abandoned his team. He was so sooky that he left. So I don't know.
He's starting from further back, isn't he? Yeah.
It's just a little different to me.
That's fair.
Maybe,
A thing to revisit in 10
maybe
years.
I need to revisit in 10 years.
Mate,
in 10 years, you might
revisit
be
in 5 years first before 10 years,
tantrum.
mate. By then,
We'll have a reunion episode.
Have a reunion episode, yeah. Exactly.
He's got the potential, though, to be the best player in the league. He has the potential.
Everybody's got potential.
Yeah, but he's like...
Not many have that potential.
He's got like Patrick Dangerfield levels to him. Like,
if George Wardlaw didn't exist, I'd say he's the closest thing to Patrick Dangerfield. But I think Wardlaw's also very similar.
I don't think he's got quite the burst of speed. Like,
he's
out of and
still
probably
young.
kicking goals.
Well, I think it's because he's got his injury affected games that just keeps his a bit injury interrupted. But I feel like if Wardlaw has his consistent output of playing, he can hit this.
He has before,
coming out of a stoppage.
Honestly, yeah.
He's probably more a Selwood type though. Just
bigger than Selwood,
probably too courageous for his own good sort of thing.
He's bigger than Selwood though.
A little bit.
He's a nutcase though. When he goes for the footy,
He's kamikaze.
Like, he's
Almost Zach Butters-esque, but Zach Butters is a bit lighter of frame. I don't know. Like mate, Wardlaw, you're getting all these incredible comparisons. We can't exactly know what type of player you are, but the fact that you're getting comparisons to some of the greatest names in this competition just goes to show how good of a talent you are and what a great future you have ahead of you, as well as North Melbourne's future. They unfortunately got brought back down to earth against the Swans on the weekend.
I was so excited
Fair
about
enough.
their previous when I tipped them. And what a terrible, what a terrible tipping weekend that was.
Did I tip
that's
them
self-sabotage.
Yeah, well, that makes
Did I
sense.
tip North Melbourne as well? No, I did not. There's no way I tipped North Melbourne.
I'll
no
one
you have
else
that
did.
one by
Everyone thought
yourself.
I was
Yeah.
crazy, and I am, so that's fine. But I did tip them. I don't know. I was like, you never know.
No Heaney. At
Yeah,
the
exactly.
time.
At
There's
the
no
time,
Heaney.
there's no
Wardlaw
Heaney.
coming back.
Well, they've lost two in a row.
Yeah.
North had one.
But then you get
Right.
Mills and Parker back.
You got Mills and Parker back.
So,
Yeah,
Just
but
ridiculous.
also probably Sydney felt like they needed that win because they were being questioned for their two
what was
losses.
that? 2 losses in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably they wanted to keep their momentum
And
in check.
Papley decided I'm going to dominate this game.
Oh, so
Like Papley, mate, if we could get Papley. Oh. Any team in the comp would love to have Papley. in the team. I mean, there's just his celebrations alone after a goal. Like he just gets really around it and he loves himself and he wants to high five everybody and he'd high five the air if he could.
He does.
He does.
He does. Yeah, I
there
think
you
he
go.
does.
So he loves a goal. He's very infectious, and he can pinch it in the midfield, bring some speed. Like, he's just one of those small forwards that is taking his game to another level. And I think both of us love to have at our clubs. Because who's your small forward at the moment? Apart from Machito Owens.
He's not small.
He's not even small.
He's
exactly.
medium, and then the Higgins and Butler.
Higgins.
Yeah.
He's your main guy.
He can, yeah.
He's
He's
had
had
a pretty
game on
good
the
year,
weekend.
yeah, he's
Oh, no,
popped
the
up for a couple
weekend
of
he
bags of
wasn't very
fruit.
good.
wasn't he?
What was that, sorry?
The weekend, he wasn't very good.
No one was, to be fair.
No,
Except for Philippou.
no.
You did have Gresh.
Maybe Ari.
Gresh, yeah. Gresh
I'm good
wanted
without
to be
Gresh.
a
Goodbye.
midfielder.
No, I'm glad we're not. I'm glad. Goodbye, Gresh. You can have him.
Yeah, we're
You.
sort of seeing the worst of him at the moment.
you.
He started really well for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Now,
I was surprised at the start of the year how much you were enjoying him.
I was
Yeah, I was
surprised
thinking-
how good he was performing.
well, yeah, now he's borderline droppable.
Really?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
had a couple of,
Surprise.
probably a couple,
Yeah.
2 months, I reckon.
What's annoying you the
really-
most about him?
You just don't see him.
Oh, okay.
It's the disappearing act.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
He's in that Death Valley high forward role, isn't he? Does he get in the midfield?
No.
No, he's a
okay.
forward.
No.
He's high half forward.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, though, I wouldn't just blame him alone. I think as the season has progressed, we're starting to carry a lot more passengers.
Oh, for sure.
Like at the start of the year, it was very much a team effort. Everyone was pinch hitting. People were asking, who's Essendon's best player? Merritt.
Merritt.
Who's your second best player? Who knows? Everyone's just buying in. Everyone's just playing. It was a real team effort. And now it's just like crap. It's Merritt who's copping the tag. And then who?
You probably
Caldwell.
say Caldwell, yeah.
I reckon it's Caldwell.
But then after
And then
that,
who? Durham?
Sammy Durham's doing
Nah.
well.
he gets more hype than Caldwell, but I don't think he's better than him.
Really?
I
No.
agree. Colders is a gun.
Yeah.
What was it? Phil Davis. When he was asked,
Yeah.
who would you give out of every single player in the Giants? Who's one player you would give a 10-year contract to? And he just straight out said, Jai Caldwell.
Mm.
So
Yeah. That was in
and we've seen that.
2019.
Yeah.
It's taken him a while to
Bloody hell.
kick
yeah.
on.
Well, we haven't been giving him as much midfield minutes as he's got this year without
Yeah.
Parrish in the side, Parrish being injured.
Yeah.
Parrish hopefully coming back soon. But yeah, 2 meter Peter hasn't been firing a shot. He was called out by Matty Lloyd.
I was about to say, yeah. Matty
He's
Lloyd
got a
had
lot of
real-
words about Peter.
Who would
Ooh.
you say in general has been an outstanding small forward this season? I think a lot of them have been disappointing
Guelphy.
this season.
Guelph was right before this last week.
Mm.
Mm.
He was all right. But him and everybody else just don't know how to play with a football, where to station themselves.
Rankin?
You think?
Isaac
Would you
Rankin
count
has
him as
been
a
your-
small forward?
I would.
Yeah.
Like
He's probably
in the comp, what top three?
probably
Top
Rankin.
three. Ranking.
Papley.
Papley,
Papley's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, Rankin, Papley.
And
up
Cody
there.
Weightman.
Nah, Cody Weightman hasn't played enough football.
I
don't
think
this
Jamie
year.
Elliott's got to be in there.
I don't think
No.
Jamie Elliott's played enough
He hasn't
football
played
either.
enough.
Is
Oh,
player.
that's true. He has been injured. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
question.
a very good question that you've just brought on us without notice. But then again, most of what we have to say here is
Yeah,
without
but
notice as well.
It's something to think about. I mean, you can come back to me next week. I'm just curious. Like now that we're talking, I don't think anyone has stood out.
Yeah, Bobby Hill hasn't been quite as dynamic as he was last
Nah.
year.
Nope.
And Charlie Cameron's fallen off.
Charlie
Cameron
Cameron
has
has found
had
a
a
cliff and
disappointing
said
year.
goodbye.
Yeah.
Lockie Schultz, after his move to Collingwood,
That's looking like a bad trade, isn't
that
it?
seems like a very bad trade all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking up. I know I was talking up that acquisition. I thought, holy crap. He added Lockie Schultz as well, who was, I thought, an upgrade on Ginnivan.
Hmm.
It almost looks like Ginnivan would have given them more, at least in free kicks.
Uh,
at least.
Mm.
Maybe in that system, it's just really hard to play that role. And it
Mm.
wasn't really Ginnivan not applying. So it's just really difficult to do.
Dylan Moore's had a good year as well.
He has.
True. He's not your traditional crumbing forward, is he? But like he's
No, but
very,
he-
very
he
good.
Pops up, kicks 2 goals every week.
And yeah.
Maybe a potential favourite for the Rising Star, Nolly Dempsey.
Oh yeah. What
He's-
the hell?
More of a
think-
winger
How
though,
tall
isn't
is
he?
he?
Yeah, but
He's a
he can
winger,
he can
yeah.
play a wing, but he also does play forward as well. I don't know.
He's
like
moved to half back in the wing.
And he's got a lot
He's
of
an
avenues.
Higgins
AI
might be up
generated
there.
Geelong player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Higgins has
I
had a good
actually
year.
think Jack Higgins might be up there this year,
Yeah.
considering the poor form of everyone else.
Who would be
Yeah.
up there?
Higgins.
Higgins.
Yeah.
Really?
He's our top goal kicker. Not that
that's
we've got
actually
so
a
Not
many.
that
big.
that's saying much.
But
I mean, if you're looking at the Coleman medal,
the short ones.
who is the highest? Tyson Stengel,
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense.
33 goals.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. Yeah, he's been really good.
is-
There you go.
Now, Bailey Fritsch isn't a small. He's a medium.
Nah,
Mike
he's not a
Langford,
small.
35. Danaher, 34. Yeah, Stengel, 33.
He's no good at
Stringer, 32. Papley, 30. Chad, 28.
That's ridiculous.
Chad Warner, 28 goals.
How short is he?
He's got the same as Logan McDonald.
Hmm.
Their key forward. Their on-baller has as many goals as their key forward.
That makes sense. why they're
Ridiculous.
Up there.
And Tobias, Toby Green,
Mm.
number 20 on the charts with 28 goals himself. And he has had a down year,
Kobe.
Yeah.
Toby Green. And he's
Yeah,
got as many goals as
forgot
Logan
about him.
McDonald.
He kicked a few on the week.
He looks really good on the weekend.
Yeah.
He did.
But I mean,
He's on
against-
and off now,
against
though.
Richmond.
He's approaching retirement, in my opinion.
To-
He's on and off,
Sorry.
Toby. He's not consistently.
How
getting
old
there.
is Toby?
He's like
I don't know,
29,
it's like
isn't he?
29.
He's not even 30. I was about to say, he's not even 30 years old.
I
Close to
just-
retirement. Wrap him up.
Get him out of here.
Give him a farewell game right now. Unbelievable. Nah, he's never going to go away. It's still too soon for him to go.
Speaking of retirement,
Yes, go.
how did you feel about Geelong's performance?
That's exactly
on the
where I was
weekend?
going. That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah, they just don't die, Geelong.
No.
They just don't die.
9 lives.
It's amazing.
It's, yeah.
That
I
was
will
Radical
say,
Leah, a big 71.
The socials, though, have me feeling a little different about Zach Toohey. I just can't hear his name. I
Zach
just
Tui.
can't hear his name
What?
anymore.
Huck
I just
Tui?
think-
Oh.
I can't.
Really? Is that the reason why? I was just joking.
Yeah, that is the reason
Is that
why.
the reason why?
Yeah, I
was just
can't
joking.
get past it.
Oh, I wasn't sure where you're going.
Yeah. I'm just going to
Yeah,
drink to that.
Toohey.
Yeah, sure.
I need some time to get past that meme. I don't know.
Oh my
Um,
God. I was just joking.
Nah, true story.
I just know where you go.
He's 35 now, Zach, too.
But yeah,
He's close to
yeah.
retirement, correct?
I mean,
Still a
Geelong
good
just
player.
aren't going to die though. They are cats. They have 9 lives,
Yeah.
and
they've
they're
got the best
just good
recruiting.
enough to be annoying all the time. It's
They're
so
peaking.
tired of it.
They're peaking at the right time too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was saying to a guy on the way here, like, they're probably going to win the flag.
They might.
Well,
I was thinking that this weekend too.
traditionally they used to play really well in the home away season and then run out of steam for finals.
Right.
This year it's the opposite.
Yeah.
They seem to be
But
peaking at the right
Since
time.
Right.
Hawkins got injured,
I was
their
saying.
team's just
Mm.
It
they
was
look so
Hawkins.
much better.
Hawkins
Mm.
was that chain ball or the shackle, whatever, dragging them
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
He goes, of course, right in time for our game. He goes, and all of a sudden they're just so dynamic. They got the bounce.
But like
They looked
Even-
really good Friday.
even like the genius of like Chris Scott, like switching the magnets, like
Yeah.
Tom Stewart in the midfield,
Why not?
DeConing in the ruck,
Mhm.
Yep.
like just changes the whole.
Tom Stewart in the midfield looks good.
He does,
Big.
Mhm.
and then he
Big
just
man.
rotates. He just
And you-
rotates
you
as
just-
a spare man and just continues doing what he's doing.
It's disgusting, actually, how
It
great
is.
of a team.
Whatever's
they
in the
are.
So
whatever's in the
annoying.
water down there, it's
And
It's
they
not
all-
the
bring some to
water.
tell them
It
around.
can't be the water.
And they're available. Like, you know what I mean? Like these important players, they're healthy. They're playing great football at the right time. It's just like, yeah, you can have your hiccups early on in the year when you're trying to discover what your best mix is.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
now you just see they're humming now.
I don't get it.
They're just
And like
Yeah.
like you said before, like Lawson Humphreys,
Humphreys.
like
From
where
the-
do they find
Yeah,
these
how
guys?
do they
was from-
get
he
good
was from-
draft picks? Because they're consistently placed like up on the ladder. I don't know how they're getting draft picks. I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, they got
It's
Lawson-
annoying. Stop it.
is.
Geelong.
They got Lawson Humphreys from
Share.
the Waffle Reserves
yeah,
for like pick
Oh.
71 or whatever it
because
was.
yeah, they got
Oh.
for Radical Leah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yep.
Imagine Radical Leah goes, is desperate to leave. He finally goes after you've managed to hangle a bit more out of Port Adelaide.
Well, he played sample on the weekend as well.
And he played sample on the weekend. And then meanwhile, you guys have just got a Rising Star nominee.
Do you
Who
think
had
it's the
13 marks?
smugness? Do you think it's just contagious? Like they all just get a little smug and they're like, of course, we're going to play better than you. We're the Cats.
Yeah.
We're better.
I've always said
every chance.
good. It's good people make good football clubs, and the way they are run off the field is unlike anybody else.
Isn't there pitch to players as well that they have less contact hours at the club than other teams?
They do.
And that somehow
Yeah,
works.
they have like optional.
They have
days.
Yeah. But they must have just have such a good
I feel like if
built
they
culture. It doesn't
put that
matter.
at St Kilda, no one would show up.
Well, you'd get worse.
Come if you want.
We would get worse.
But they can facilitate that because they have this unique situation where they're in Victoria, but they're almost like an interstate team in that they are out of the way, no real competition in terms of who you can play for, and living so far out.
And their stadium helps, by the way.
They got their own stadium that is always having money thrown at it because it's a marginal seat.
Right.
And so anyone who wants to win an election will say, we're going to throw more money at this stadium, so vote us in.
Haven't they just
But
asked for more like facilities?
Always.
Again,
After they just got like
Exactly.
however many
There's
it
always, that's why it's just a constant, never-ending battle and improvement for them.
It's just the measurements, though. Like, no one else plays well with those measurements, and they've just mastered it. It's
Exactly.
annoying. They should have to change the field to everyone else's measurements. It's not fair. Fix it.
They have they're on a beach, close to the ocean. People can go and surf.
Yeah.
Big blocks of land with farms. And you get to hang out with Jeremy Cameron, who seems to be a really chill bloke, a history of success. You're going to join this team maybe on less money, but hey, you just win your home games and you're in finals every year, basically.
Is it Chris Scott, you think?
Is Chris?
You think it's the coach? Do you think it's just something that he's been able to curate?
Well,
there?
Bomber Thompson was there beforehand and they had a dynasty.
Yeah. So maybe it's not him.
But he also had a generational team.
Correct.
Chris Scott's kept that going for 13 years. That's not that you can't.
We're not discounting him, but it's just saying but is it all on the coach? But what Geelong has?
I reckon a lot of it
It'd
is.
be a lot. Yeah.
I think
Who knows?
it might be.
All on Chris.
I mean,
The stadium as well.
intuitively, I would say.
The stadium is all thanks to Chris.
Well, not the
The
stadium.
marginal seat is all thanks to Chris.
The stadium's definitely just works in their favor, but if we're talking about the culture, he's probably spearheading that. He's been there long enough that he's obviously calling shots. He's not there I don't think he's there
just coaching.
He's
just
there,
resting on his laurels.
Yeah, but they've also got all of these incredible senior players who stick around.
Yeah.
Like Joel Seld was there for a long time. Walker's
Right.
been there for a long time. Obviously, you've also got Zach Tui. He's been there for a long time. Mitch Duncan. Andrew Mackey is now still at the club, but in the recruiting and list development side of things.
Yeah.
Reece Stanley. Yeah, that's right. We forget about Reece Stanley. He's still playing. He's got some experience to him. Pops Kelly, he's gone back to there.
Yeah.
He was great for us when he was a top-up player.
He's 2 years.
He's 2 years, and when he was also a bit of an assistant coach.
So number 49. Or 47.
47, not 49.
Yeah.
Yes. So they've got so many good experienced campaigners. Came in the system under Bomber, stuck around under Chris. And Chris Scott would not have been appointed as the next coach if he didn't show clearly that he was capable to be the next person to take it. So absolutely, he deserves a lot of credit, but also there are other things that are outside of his control, which also help to, he's not the one looking in the WA reserves for Lawson Humphreys.
No.
You know what I mean? Like they've got they're probably the best run organisation off the field of football. So to be able to last this long is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we're
a
jealous.
well-oiled machine,
Very.
and I don't like it. It's
We
not
don't
my
like it.
team.
Yeah.
What else don't you like? You've told me that you've noticed a worrying tactical trend.
Okay. I have noticed the past couple weeks, not everyone, but there have been a couple of players when they have a set shot at goal. They've been doing like that twinkle toe tango thing that Jesse Hogan does, and it's driving me crazy. Please stop. Please stop. Please don't do it. It looks not like football. It looks like a kindergarten dance class, and I don't like it. I think it works for Jesse, great, but Please, I don't want to see anyone else do it. I hate it.
Twinkle toes, mate. Kennedy.
Josh Kennedy.
Josh
Yeah.
Kennedy.
I
think
hate
of that.
it.
I think, did he start it? He's the first one I can
He's the
remember
first one that
doing
comes
it.
to my mind.
Really?
Yep.
So it doesn't even
played for
start
West
with
Coast.
Jesse.
Didn't start with Jesse.
No, he's copied
Well,
Kennedy.
I don't like it.
And why not? Kennedy was a gun.
I've just seen quite a few players do it and then miss the goal. And I think if you do it and you miss a goal, 50-meter penalty. Just get that shit out of football. I hate it. I don't
you
like
are
it.
not Kennedy. You cannot be Twinkle Toes.
But tell me if you don't see it. I saw it.
I thought you were going to say that you're worried about the concern of the trend being the people doing chicken wing tackles more.
I thought that was where it was going
I
as
thought
well.
that's where you're going
Oh,
to go.
I'm not concerned about that.
Not concerned about that?
But-
I mean,
oh.
that I noticed it. It's funny. I noticed it a few weeks ago, and they're finally talking about it. I'm sure that the AFL will make an adjustment for it that will confuse everybody in a different way.
They'll probably
Um,
start suspending players.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's like they're just waiting for one to get injured,
Yeah,
right? Isn't that what
correct.
it's going to be?
Yeah.
And then they'll start making all
5
those
weeks.
changes. I'm not actually worried about that trend because I think the AFL will make an adjustment eventually. I just, I don't know. I'm more worried about the twinkle toes.
Twinkle Toes?
Twinkle
Yeah.
toes. I like when players have their own, when they pioneer a trademark goal run up.
Like eating
I think
the
of
grass.
Like
Matthew,
Grind.
like who?
Grind Mice.
Grind Mice. He's more of like a kicking style.
That's a kicking
though.
style.
Who's the one that
I,
hits
I
the
would say I
grass?
would say Matthew Lloyd throwing the grass.
Yeah.
Quinton
he doesn't
Lynch
eat
throwing
it?
the glove.
I thought he ate the grass.
Acoustic.
Ahmed
Barry
Saad
Wall
doing
throwing
a
fists.
Or
Someone
Ben-
tastes
Ben
the
Brown.
grass.
Ben Brown doing a half marathon.
Yeah.
Who tastes the
Those-
grass? Someone
No, no.
eats it.
Oh,
Oh,
Matt
Matt
Rowell.
Matt Rowell
Yeah.
before the
That was
game.
a
That's gross.
that was a spiritual grounding
That's
technique
stupid.
to get acclimatized.
The goat does goat things.
And
mate.
also to get high on the whatever chemicals the groundsman has sprayed
Yeah.
as well. Give me a bit of pep. But yeah,
Yeah.
trademark goal run ups I like. The garage man Ahmed Saad.
Mm.
Garage man.
And
Stuff like that.
when you're watching Jesse Hogan, like a grown giant man like that,
looks funny to me.
twinkle up there to do the kick, it's not off-putting to you at all.
Jesse's
Like,
looked way more off putting in his past. than that.
I just find it really off-putting.
Enough said.
It
Yeah.
does.
To be
I don't
fair,
know.
though, he's in really good form.
He is,
He
and that's
clunking
fine.
everything. So
I'm not saying
it's
it doesn't
working.
work.
I
Maybe
think
I
maybe
still like
that's
to
why.
watch it.
Maybe
Jesse's
that's
in a good
why.
place right now. The last thing he needs to be told is to stop twinkling your toes. 'cause
I
you
didn't
look-
say that about him, but everyone
Look at
else,
that.
like, I don't want it to catch on and everyone just starts doing it. It's not.
Well, it wouldn't be masculine enough.
I don't like it.
Oh, well.
I don't like it. It's like jazz hands. Like, what are you doing? Stop.
I love it. Anna. That's it's your opinion. You don't like to see it,
I don't like to see
and
it.
you can express your opinion. It's a free
Yeah.
country.
I saw a Saint do it a few weeks ago, and I
Which
never want to
Saint?
see
Which,
it again.
which one? Name him.
Name and shame him. You're naming and shaming
What?
Hogan.
Why pretend?
You talking about Jesse? Talk
Yeah.
about your Saint.
No, I wasn't talking about Jesse. I've just seen other players. There was a Saint that did it. There's a guy from Rio that did it. It's just too much. Too many.
Giant Amos has a bit of a stutter to his step.
He's one of the ones.
He's like half
He's
asleep.
one of the
Yeah, he's very chill.
He's got the
isn't he?
bags under his eyes. He's
Mm.
like
He's
a walking
made it
zombie.
He's made it a little bit faster though. When he's like
after
40.
the Sydney game.
Shut. Yeah.
Mm.
And that makes sense because when you're further out, you need more momentum behind your kick in order to make
Yeah.
the distance.
But the momentum doesn't come from this little like penguin model thing. It's not momentum building at all.
Look,
I just
maybe it's like a spring sort of mechanism that he's
It's
sort of,
not a spring.
like, I don't know, like he's sort of, it's trying to build some energy in the run up, in the bounds, and then just unleashes it. I don't know. It works for them.
no, it doesn't. Only
Jesse
for
Hogan
Jesse.
has
Only
kicked
for
how many
Jesse.
goals this week?
I
Only
said
for
he's allowed
Jesse,
to do
okay.
it, and not that I like seeing it, but I'll let him have it. But
Okay.
I just don't think anyone else needs to adopt it.
Okay.
I just leave it alone. Play football. Don't worry about the toes.
All right. Don't worry about the toes, and don't worry. Actually, no. You need to worry about the shoulders with the chicken wing tackles.
Can
I
I-
don't like that. I think it's.
Oh,
a-
you're
I
worried
think-
about that.
I think it is a worrying thing
Someone's gonna get
because
hurt.
it is an injury waiting to happen. I'm pretty sure Boomer Harvey had his career disrupted because of a chicken wing tackle and his shoulder having an issue. There's a few players that have had
Who
issues.
did Chris Judd do it on? Was it Lee Adams or someone like that?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Very
Because
good
he
question.
pioneered
How do
it.
you
he
think
got,
they're
like-
going to fix it? What do you think they'll do?
It should be a suspendable offence because I
But-
think because it's you can tackle someone without necessarily causing structural damage to their.
But the
But
AFL have also like cornered themselves into it because
Yeah, they
it's
have.
like if you've got one hand free,
Yeah.
Right,
it's holding the ball.
right.
So players automatically tackle and grab the other hand.
Correct.
And then it's
What
I
I
would-
think
it's holding
this
the ball.
is, I don't think it's a chicken. I don't think it's a tackling problem. I think it's a freaking holding the ball problem that the AFL really need to sit down and figure out
Yeah.
what the hell that means.
Needs an
Because they
overhaul.
still don't know. And that's what's causing the chicken wing to begin with. So maybe think about holding. Have a long, hard think about it.
Oh, your
And
horses.
maybe we change how much time the player has. Maybe we do that just so that, just so that we don't see something like that happen. But I think it's a holding issue. I don't think it's a
I think
tackling
there's a
issue.
difference between because players have always, or for like last 15 years, tried to pin the arm. There's a difference between that and trying to chicken wing someone. I think anyway, a chicken wing is when you pull their elbow right back,
was that like
Correct.
the Dacos one?
But-
like the Dacos one. Yeah, but
But you're
pinning
asking,
the arm should be fine. That's always been like
you're asking an umpire to distinguish between the two in the middle of the game. And
Yeah.
there's no way that's going to happen.
yeah.
Correct.
They'll get it wrong every time.
It's this whole idea of having the one hand free that's causing the issue because
Yeah.
you're gonna have the ones you're just
It's not
incentivizing
good enough
someone
now, yeah.
to take the one hand right and pull it out, so you have no chance. You're off balance,
Mm.
and you're gonna have to somehow try and
To kick the footy being tackled, you're going to be off balance.
You're gonna be off balance, and then you're gonna be in a situation where Higgins got done because he tackled Alira, was
Right.
it?
Well, yes. It was
And then
earlier.
and he grabbed, he pinned the arm. Alira is trying to swing his body to
Yeah.
kick the
Yeah.
ball,
Threw his
and
head
in
into the
doing
ground.
so, he sort of opened himself up, crashed onto the ground because he's lost his balance, and then Higgins got suspended for that.
Yep.
Mm.
So you're in a situation where you're not actually defending or protecting the player who's being tackled at all. You're in fact telling him you have to open yourself up and unsafely try and fling a foot at the ball to kick it away in an attempt to get rid of it, thereby also opening yourself up to potential concussion.
Mm.
Otherwise, you're penalised holding the ball.
Yeah.
So,
Or if your leg gets caught.
if your leg gets caught.
But
But
Riddle,
then
for
be
example, who was
comfortable with
lucky
holding the
that.
ball. Like, then be comfortable. Sometimes you got to be comfortable with holding the ball. It's not the end of the world. Like, it happens all the time.
If it's a shot
actually.
on goal, though, then that is not.
If it's a
comfortable.
shot on goal, but that's not. This is happening in the middle of the field sometimes. It's not always a shot on goal.
Players are
Maybe-
always going to risk like their safety to not turn over the footy though. That's like,
Yes.
especially if you're a fringe player, that's the worst
Right.
sin you can commit on a footy field almost.
I guess. They're going to have to do a better job at figuring out what the hell holding is and how they want to adjudicate it. Because that's really the issue. And I know all the commentary is talking about how it's the tackling that's the problem, but it isn't. It's the holding.
Correct.
Again, it's rearing its ugly head.
The AFL
Again.
always finds a way to stuff things up. Even middle of the season. Oh, we're going to
Especially
retcon
middle of
this.
the
Are we
Yeah.
MROing? Are we talking about the MRO now?
Yes. We're going to talk about the MRO now. See? You know me. There's always a build up to these segues. The MRO has, in its infinite wisdom, provided us with some updates in relation to suspensions on the weekend. Some people got 3 weeks. Others got 1 week. How do we feel? I'll go with you, Ben. What do you think of the MRO these days? Do we feel like it's not
Can
doing
I-
a good job?
Can I?
It's still one bloke, isn't it?
It's
There was a few blokes.
Is it just-
there was
it's-
three.
Bedford
okay.
got 3 weeks.
Oh no, sorry, I mean the MRO itself.
Oh,
It's
the
still one
MRO
person,
itself.
isn't it?
Michael
It's
Christian.
Michael Christian.
ex-Channel 10 commentator.
One
whole-
guy.
The whole thing is just, it's just lost the plot. Like, it's all just run by Lloyd.
Did it ever
It's-
have the plot?
Well, yeah.
No.
I think so. But
Well, maybe
there's
by the time that you've been here, it might have never had.
but they're so worried about future lawsuits now
Mhm.
that they have to suspend these players.
I don't think that's it. And I'll tell you why.
Ooh.
I am
Take
in
notes,
reading
boys.
the history. I was reading a historian's take on the MRO and when the MRO came about, or the concept of a tribunal came about. And basically, in the early days of AFL, when they were paying players. They weren't supposed to pay the players, right? It's supposed to be like an everyman's job. And
Right.
you didn't
Are we
get
talking
paid.
right at like 1897?
We're talking- yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're
We're
talking
talking
slightly
way
before that, like maybe the
Mm.
1870s,
Yep.
1880s.
The VFA. Yeah.
Yeah. So they weren't supposed to pay the players, but of course they were, because you wanted people to play. And
Yes.
how were they going to do that, especially in the Depression? So they didn't want to come right out and accuse the teams of paying the players. So they developed this concept of a tribunal where they could like half-ass punish a club with made up reasons, but really the real reason is because they're paying their players, right? So they'll make up a whole nother song and dance about it and be like, the tribunal says during the season you do this and this and this and whatever. They'd pick out stuff in the game to penalize a team because they knew that that team was paying their players. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some weird function of the MRO and the tribunal that is still like that, where there are things that they're trying to penalize. They're not going to tell you, and they're not going to tell everyone else. Probably has nothing to do with what actually happened in the act. That's my guess.
Okay.
I could be
Wow.
wrong. It's a conspiracy theory. I know.
That is a big conspiracy.
That is a
theory.
big conspiracy
But
theory.
but historically, that was like the early days of the tribunal. That was what it was doing.
I think though, like there's just so much talk around like the head contact now
Mm.
that like we're seeing former players, I think Liam Picken and Brad Shepherd
Yes.
are coming
Brad
out
Shepherd,
and they're suing the AFL because
I'm not saying that's not an issue. I'm sure that's an issue, but I don't think that that's why the MRO. I don't think that's why a bunch of people got banned this weekend. I'm sure there's other political reasons why things are happening with some of these.
But what about
teams.
the Heaney one? Did you think that was a suspension?
So I'm curious about that one. See, that one's suspicious to me because how does Charlie Cameron get off on good character on a much different offense? Yes, but I would say more egregious.
Mm.
And then Isaac Heaney is punished.
Yeah.
There's something going on. Doesn't make any sense. It's more political than anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
That particular call. Is it always political? No, I'm sure sometimes it is about the head. But
Boom. No,
That's
I
my
agree.
guess.
There's definitely inconsistencies when it comes to
suspicious inconsistency.
Yeah, maybe
think that's the-
suspicious, but
That's what every fan's
that's what every fan
uproaring
feels,
about.
right?
There's no
Yeah.
consistency.
Right.
100%. It's no consistency in umpiring during games, no inconsistency in umpiring between games in a certain round, between interpretations over a number of rounds, between the beginning of the year, middle of the year, between now the MROs as well. But Bedford copped the 3 and someone else copped the 3.
Charlie Cameron.
Charlie Cameron
Yeah.
copped the 3.
Finally.
Both were slightly different. Bedford's one, but the thing is, both of them involved a pinning of the arms and driving with full force, body force, which then led to head hitting the ground and causing a concussion. That's, I think, the stereotypical pinned arm tackle that the AFL want to rule out, in that you have a duty of care as a tackler to at least leave one hand free, that the player can at least brace themselves or maybe turn them in the tackles, that you're not driving them full force.
But then is that when the chicken wing?
And that is the chicken
Is
wing.
that when the chicken
And
wing?
then
Yeah.
that's when the chicken wing comes in, and they then realize, oh, damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is a free kick for holding the ball.
It's what the game's come to though.
It's so complicated, isn't it?
Like,
And we're trying to make these players be
But-
biomechanists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
when it's a split second
It's a
decision.
split
Yeah.
second decision.
I actually think the
When they're
Bedford
fatigued,
one
yeah.
wasn't. I think that was suspendable. He
Mm.
sort of did have Taranto, and he sort of drove his head into the ground.
Yes, I
Mm.
agree.
I don't think the Charlie Cameron one was completely accidental.
But it could have been avoided though.
Do you think this was a way, though, to be like, we let Charlie Cameron off earlier. Now we've
Trying to
ruined
make up
Isaac
for it.
Heaney's chances of getting the Brownlow. We can't have Charlie Cameron reported again and give him any kind of lenience again.
There
Like-
probably is some.
Yeah.
It must have felt like
There's
we already
always
gave you the pass.
There's always a PR element
Yes.
going
Right.
on
100%.
because they work directly with the AFL. So
yeah.
they're under different
It's a
influences
sham.
all the time.
It's all a sham. Just
It
kidding.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. But also, the AFL, we've been calling out for this for so many years that it shouldn't not just be the result that determines whether or not a
But they've
player should
claimed
get
it's
suspended
not.
or not, but also the act itself, the intention behind it. And I think Roses getting done for 1 week only for flinging a flying elbow at someone's head as he's running past is ridiculous. I don't know how. I think that as an act is so much more dog and disgusting than what Toby Green, than what Bedford did or what Charlie Cameron did. Yes, it was sloppy what those two guys did, but I don't think they weren't doing the flog act of flinging an elbow.
But the elbow's not going to cost somebody.
It could. It's a form of a king hit if it connects properly.
It's probably the more cowardly act.
100%.
Like running past and sticking your elbow out.
That was bizarre.
That's a little. I would say if you're trying to keep the sport physical, you have to be careful how much stuff you say they can't do as well. Like, yeah, it's shitty, but if you're going to start.
I don't think you've ever been allowed to do that, though.
Yeah, I think
that was something that was out of place under the 80s.
I'm not saying it should be allowed.
I feel like that felt more intentional than
for sure.
the tackle.
Maybe, but I think in terms of what damage it's going to cause the other player that could easily run away, maybe he could protect himself.
Nobody wasn't
It's
watching.
kind of different than smashing someone
he did it from behind.
He
He
did
wasn't
it from
even watching.
behind as he was running past. He flings an elbow at his head.
Yeah.
Like you want to elbow someone in the ribs or in the side or in the back.
Fair game.
That's fair game. But if you're going to elbow someone the back of their head as you're running past and this guy is not looking at you and you're not prepared for it, I think the potential repercussions that the receiving player that Evans would have suffered would have been greater, I think, than what Bedford, for example, would have inflicted on, was it, not Presti, I was on Taranto, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
He
the
was
rationale. I don't know. I don't think there is one.
There's no rationale. No, they just keep looking at the outcome. They put too much emphasis on the outcome,
which they said
that
they weren't going to do.
They were
Exactly.
arguing that was.
So that's why it's annoyed
They said it was
fans
low
as well.
force, and not because he deliberately applied low force, but because he was lucky.
Yeah,
that he didn't make proper contact.
Such a weird thing to do. Like what did he think he was going to get out of that?
What, the elbow in the
The
head?
elbow in the head. Like, so strange, but yeah. See you later, Malcolm.
I don't know. If I probably wouldn't be the best person on the field if you're telling me to be physical and then play a game like this. I don't know. And I'm getting like punched in the guts sometimes or elbowed in the ribs. Like, I don't know that I wouldn't
Wouldn't be
do
the best
something
feeling.
shitty in response. I think sometimes it just gets to you.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it will get to you, but it's not gonna. I would hope that it wouldn't lead you to try and elbow someone in the back of the head.
I understand that,
regardless of what sort of way you're feeling about it,
Right.
I don't think you would be coward.
It's one of those things, if you do in real life and it goes wrong, you get charged with assault.
Exactly.
So
fair point.
maybe don't even try it on footy field.
Don't even try it on the footy field because there was it was a surprising result, but at the same time it wasn't really surprising given the AFL's insistence on outcome. Speaking of outcomes and surprises,
Terrible.
there were quite a few surprising games that took place. Obviously, we spoke about our game. I think that was a bit of a surprise that we performed the way that we did, and in a negative way. Another surprise that I think would have caught people's eyes was, we spoke about the Bulldogs, but the Hawks getting up over Fremantle.
That was a good game.
That was a really good game.
It was a good
down
game.
at UTAS Stadium. And, it was Freo are no joke. Now, I do give him, I'm not going to penalise him and go hard on them because it is a really long flight to get from Perth all the way down to Launceston. I think it might be one of the longest trips in football, and the Hawks are really good at that ground. So I'm willing to give Fremantle a mulligan, and they only lost by 13 points.
I thought that they played very, coming from Saints supporter, I'm not comparing, but I thought it was boring. I thought Freo were boring. There was
They
no
always
fire
are.
in
That's
anything.
what they are.
That's their thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, don't understand why the Saints cop that all the time. I guess because we lose.
Yeah.
But, but Freo are boring to watch. They're boring to watch. And I didn't see anything. I wasn't the slightest bit impressed with any of their game against the Hawks, to be honest. I was happier to see the Hawks have the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly care about the Hawks, but they were playing better footy. They were just playing more fun football.
It was
I don't
intense as well. Like the tackling was really noticeable, especially from the Hawks. They were hitting hard, which is good to see.
Yep.
When it's easier to get suspended if you make like a wrong decision in split second, they were going for bodies, and it was awesome.
Right.
And they deserved it.
And the Wizard.
The Wizard finally,
he wizarded.
He came.
He wizarded, yes.
No longer the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah.
Like David King called him.
That was
a couple months
pretty
ago.
good.
That was good from Kingy.
Well done, Kingy.
The Hawks are scary.
When they're on?
Well, like just the prospect of them.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Correct.
They're scary.
Because they're going to try to take Battle. I love Josh
Good.
Battle.
Nah, I want to see him. No, I want the pick 5.
What?
Yeah, the compo.
I want the compo.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Picks. We have enough draft picks. We don't.
I don't think we do. No, we don't. It's hard for us to. We never get priority picks or draft compensation.
I
So
don't
any
know.
top 5
Or
pick
fathers.
or
Our
father
Logs
sons.
will pick like
Or
a
academy
really.
picks
We'll
now.
get a really great draft pick, and then they'll break their leg, and then we won't play them for 3 years. And then
Yeah.
by the time they actually play football, they'll be mediocre,
Or like
and that'll be the same
or
story.
Petrarca
That-
or Bond will be drafted after them.
Right
Yeah,
after,
exactly.
Yeah.
The guy below him will go to Collingwood and be a superstar.
Look, if you keep chasing the losses, you'll eventually catch up with them. So
Ah.
just
Exactly right.
more, good gambling advice there.
Good gambling advice there. If you're going to gamble responsibly. We're done for the week. Hope you all had as much fun listening or watching us as we had fun filming it. Don't leave us though, because in another episode, right after this one, we do have the tips to come. But before we do that, got to thank our incredible panelists, don't we, Anna?
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
That was very
That felt
scripted.
forced.
We're clearly very happy to have you, Guy. Ben?
I love having a fellow Saints supporter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
100%. I'm happy to have a bomber.
Yeah, it's
It was an even matchup this week, wasn't it?
It was an even matchup, and we were sort of like alternating as well. It wasn't
Let's
like
keep it civil.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon we can be pretty civil, can't we?
As a
Yeah.
supporter base, we're pretty tame. We're not throwing out barbs at anyone.
No one's
No.
no one's intimidated by St Kilda.
No one cares.
And we
what
know
I
our
say.
place as well. We'll sit in our little corner. Anyway,
Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around that because were you not in this episode now where Anna just threw barbs at basically half the competition?
yeah, Anna's a different breed.
You I'm not, and you joined in, might I add.
Guys, a return guest. Ben, did you have fun with us today?
I did. It was very good.
Can we
Thank
see you on again?
If you're happy to have me. Yeah.
Do you want to come back?
Yeah, I'll come back.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. It's like, you didn't even say, yes, I want to come back. If you guys like what you had to see and hear from us today, please drop us a like, subscribe if you're new, review us, give us 5 stars on Spotify. I think that is a thing. If you want to see more of us as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next episode where we have a proper footy chat.